Good afternoon, Storytellers. Welcome Bound by Words and the last weekend for Camp NaNo July for me. I hope Flurry behaves. He is protesting my doing anything productive by being very needy. But it is about 4:30. I just got finished with some live streams on Tiffany's channel and I am ready to get started for the day. I only have about an hour and a half left of my goal for Camp NaNoWriMo. I had a time goal of doing 30 hours in the month of July, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I was starting with a new book and I wanted to do some brainstorming and some research and some file organization and really just get into the flow of writing. So I wanted to make sure that I was writing regularly. 30 hours is right under an hour a day because there's 31 days in the month, so I just wanted to be able to consistently create that writing habit, and so far it's been going pretty well. I will say that I keep getting a little bit behind, but it's never so far behind that I have problems catching up. So I did some drafting today, just adding words during the writing sprint. I had a pretty busy morning. I had jujitsu and stuff, so I did that and I came home and I washed up to sit down and write. So I didn't really get started until I want to say 1:30, 2 o'clock now that I'm thinking about it. But I'm going to start with renaming my protagonist, and the big thing that I need to do this weekend as I write and work and try to push myself to be as productive as I can, the big thing I have to do is I have to choose a working title. So it is 7 p.m. now on Saturday. I did pick a new protagonist name. I don't want to share what it is because I'm a little worried that I'm going to change it again. I like it a lot, but it's one of those things where I think I might be able to find something better. But for now, I really like it. I'm not going to go to the trouble of replacing their name in the beginning part of the book yet. I'm just going to continue to write using this second name. And I just know that if I change it again, I have to replace both. It seems a little bit hectic. I have my work cut out for me when it comes to editing. I have to make sure none of the wrong names slip through. But at this point, that's already a concern, so I'm not going to sit and wait and not write just because I'm not sure if that's the name that I want to pick. But I found the name for my main protagonist. I have two protagonists. It's a dual point of view. As of now, I think I want the female point of view to be a little bit more than the male point of view. It's going to be the first introduced, and I might have 2 chapters in her point of view before I switch it over to the male protagonist point of view. But I have his name, and I like his name, and it's pretty set in stone. So I have her name now, and I also marked down 2 names that I really liked to use for areas and places in the book. So I'm excited about that. I also spent a little bit of time adding to my list of potential working titles. Now I'm really leaning towards the project something format because I want it to be very clear that it's a working title and that there are a lot of factors that might change it and there's a lot of room for growth. But honestly, and I haven't wanted to say this on film or post it anywhere, in the back of my head I've been calling the project Fate's Fortune, and I kind of like the way that sounds. So I've been calling it Fate's Fortune to myself, and a lot of my ideas are sort of wrapped around that. And while I think that is a very dramatic and interesting name, I don't want to use that as a working title name and have everyone get attached to it and then it change when I print the book, or continue to write and it change a lot, which was the big hold up when it came to picking a working title. But I will say that I might use parts of that in the project format, Project Fortune would be a potential option. But I have a list in my Scrivener document, and I've added some things, and I fussed over it a little bit today, and tomorrow's really the day that I have to choose, so I want to spend a little bit more time writing before bed. But before I go to bed tonight, I want to, narrow it down and remove some of my least favorite options so that I have 2 to 4 really high contenders, because if I want to meet some of my main goals for July's Camp NaNoWriMo, I'd have to pick a working title by tomorrow, which is a little bit stressful. When it comes to write-ins, though, another one of my rolling to-do list items was to attend or host 8 live streams, and I'm pretty sure I'm sitting at 10 right now, and there's one that I want to do tomorrow. So if I stop by that'll make it 11, but I have attended enough live streams officially. Another thing was picking if it's single or dual point of view, and I was just saying I'm gonna have 2 main protagonists, so I settled on dual point of view. Something else was I wanted to hit the 10K mark, and I've written more than 10,000 words this month, even with all of the research and the planning and stuff like that. But I did remove some large chunks from my manuscript, so it's sitting at about 8,000 words now. So I could crunch between today and tomorrow and try to hit 10 because I am relatively close. But that's just like a non-concerning thing for me right now. I'm more concerned about, picking a working title because that's something that I announced that I said that I would do, that I want to follow through with, and also having time to like write and film. And I usually have a bit of time like set aside for my family on Sundays, so I definitely don't want writing to get in the way of that. But I'm gonna go ponder my list of working title names and see how I feel about some of the options I put there now. So it is Sunday now. I always have a little bit more time, I feel like, to write on Sunday. I just have a little bit more free time because I'm not training. I spent some time revisiting my project title list last night, and then a little bit more time writing. And then I actually had to spend some time packing up some office decorations because I'll be getting a new office soon. Very excited about that. So I had to take some stuff off of the walls. But yeah, I feel like I really like just one or two of my working title options, and then the rest of them, reviewing them, it's just like, nope, wasn't interested in that. This is why this wasn't good. This is why this sounded like a little bit weak. So I think yesterday I was saying Fortune's Fate was something that I was thinking about, but I also have been thinking a lot about Fortune Favors. And I think a cool like long title would be like Fortune Favors the Dead, and I'm very invested in that, but even just calling it Fortune Favors or Project Fortune, that's just like sticking in my head. So my brain is sort of telling me like I could find better, and my heart is telling me if that's what I'm going to call it to myself, then that's what I should call it in general. So it's really just, can I come up with better throughout today? And I might not be able to, but I'm going to try. I didn't mention yesterday, but I did finish the read-along for Fairy Loot, This Vicious Grace, that I was doing last week while I was writing. If you didn't watch that vlog, I always wanted to do the Fairy Loot read-alongs, and I always missed the date. So even though it was very inconveniently timed, I wanted to make sure that I did this one because I knew it was happening. But I would definitely give this book 5 stars. Highly recommend. I think it has a good world and a strong culture, and it's nice and witty. It was a fast read, I think. But I don't want to waste the entire 45 minutes to an hour I have left today thinking of names. I worked on this for about half an hour, 45 minutes yesterday, and I didn't really count a lot of that time because like I said in the beginning, I don't want to waste the time. So I'm giving myself this time goal, and it's so easy to do aesthetic boards or to think about writing, and I really wanted to spend it all of the time productively writing. So choosing a name, doing the research, writing, researching things for writing. I really wanted it to be active. I didn't want it to be playlists and mood boards, but it's valid that it takes some time to find names. I just don't want to count a lot of the time that I'm spending to settle on a name, especially a project name, because it doesn't contribute to the growth of the book. So I'm probably going to set a timer. Not right now. Right now I'm going to write, but a little bit later I'm going to set a timer for 20 or 30 minutes, and that's all I'm going to give myself to come up with new ideas and to ponder things, and then we're just going to pick one. But now I'm going to write, and I'm writing in my male protagonist point of view, which is really exciting because I think about 4/5 or more of what I have currently is in my female protagonist point of view. So even though I love his character and I love his attitude, I'm not entirely sure that I have his voice down yet. So I'm tweaking some wording and some phrasing, and I am just really looking forward to this next section that I'm going to write. It's the first section of conflict, really, I think, between the two characters after they meet. So I am excited for the tension and the suspense that conflict is going to bring. So I think I figured out part of what my story needs. It has been going well. I only have half an hour left of what I want to write, and the sun's still up, so I have plenty of time to do that for Camp NaNo. It's definitely my most uneventful ending of a NaNoWriMo event, but I have recently decided that my character, their like want and their goal needs to be a little bit stronger. So I don't want to remove the want they have now, I just don't think it's powerful enough to drive their actions. So I am brainstorming and thinking about ways that I can sort of work that in. But overall, I also think I need a little bit faster of a pacing. So I am an overwriter, definitely, and I will write a little bit as I brainstorm and then go back and cut that fluff material out. So I already know that my pacing is going to be a little bit weak, so it's something that I want to consciously pay attention to as I write and go through this next draft. But yeah, I'm almost scared to talk about my working titles. Of course, Fortune Favors the Dead was like the #1 pick. Moral Low Ground was also pretty high up there on the list. I might put a list of like honorable mentions. I had On My Gravestone was an option. I also had like Project Token. So the overall themes that I am trying to sew through this book are there are some things we can control and there's some things that we can't. So it's something one of the characters is going to feel really strongly about. Like, can we do something about this? Yes or no? If so, then let's like get that taken care of. And if we can't, how can we make the best of the hand we're dealt? That kind of thing. So I really like the Fortune Favors the Dead, just the feel of it. It's sort of what I've been calling it in my head. But at the same time, it's just like a very specific element that if the story grows and changes and shifts away from anything, I don't want it to end up being irrelevant. So when it comes to a project title, I feel like some people might not think this much about their project title, but it was important to me. I don't know why. And it was something that I think I thought about more whenever I was getting ready to do like a check-in than I did while I was writing. So like I made those lists and I got that stuff together, but then when I would get ready to do like a check-in, I would think, oh my gosh, I didn't settle on anything, or I have no idea really what I'm doing with that yet. So it's just been a little bit of a stress. So when I pick one, the stress will be over, and then I can move on. I'm just worried about picking one that's too specific because I don't want it to accidentally become irrelevant. But I feel like the writing that I did get done today was pretty focused, and I'm really excited about that. I'm actually going to take a break and go down to the Panera and get myself a sugary caffeinated beverage and work on the rest of my NaNoWriMo, I think. And I don't want to just stop writing whenever I hit that 30-minute mark. I want to off and on be working on it throughout the day. So I guess when I hit that 30-minute mark or when I wrap up there, I'll come back and get comfy and just start daydreaming about where my novel's gonna go. It is August 1st, so Camp NaNoWriMo is over. I definitely cleared my 30-hour goal. I think I ended with 32 and a half hours, so I did pretty good. When I sat down to film, he just like climbed on top of me and he insists on being here, so I know he approves of what I have written so far. I'm feeling pretty good about it. One of the things that I wanted to do with this draft is I wanted to stay organized. That way I would stay more on top of it as like time passes in the future. I want it to be something that's super easily accessible because moving forward with this project, the big goal is to not let it drop to the back burner like writing often does. So especially with this like new job and new schedule and redoing like all the office stuff and then getting the new office stuff set up, I just want to make sure that whenever I do have time to write, even if it's just 20 or 30 minutes, that everything's sort of put in place. That way I can just open up my laptop and my Scrivener document and, make progress and get at it. So as far as the working title goes, I actually took a vote on Instagram between the Project Fortune that we mentioned earlier in the vlog and also just Project Notebook. One of the project titles that really inspired me is the way that Kate Kavanaugh would pick them based off the color notebook that she like printed them in whenever she was doing her first set of reviews, or like project and then like a one-word description of the theme of the book. He's gonna start getting really unruly. Kashi, behave. I'm busy. But I thought about just calling it Project Notebook since I found it in that old notebook and I was just running with that, and I thought that would be nice and simple and neutral, but in the end, I think Project Fortune only won out by like a couple of votes, so I think I'm going to go with that, and I know that I can change it in the future. I could take another vote, I can rearrange things if things do change, but I do like the vibe of that. So moving forward, officially, my new work in progress is called Project Fortune, and I feel like I have a really good foundation for, you know, writing and drafting this book over the next couple of months. I don't really do writing vlogs very much outside of NaNoWriMo events, but occasionally I'll do like a writing experiment, or if I'm doing a certain type of, I don't know, event or write-in or something, I might do a vlog. But make sure you subscribe for regular live streams. I'm going to start live streaming regularly again. And also I post writing related videos twice a week. So if you enjoyed watching my NaNoWriMo project this July, or you're just looking for more writing friends, then please consider subscribing. My Instagram is down below. If you ever want to talk shop, that's the best place to get a hold of me. My website and everything's down there too if you guys need edits. But yeah, with that, gosh, he keeps trying to nibble at my feet, so he clearly needs attention, and I'm gonna wrap the vlog up. But it was really nice to spend this Camp NaNoWriMo with you guys, and also doing a time goal. I feel like I was a lot less stressed this time with a moderately, you know, size time goal instead of shooting for something like above and beyond. I hope you won your camp project, and I hope that you are being very productive in whatever stage of writing you're in. I'll see you guys next time.